Hello everyone and welcome to YouTube Tuesday, session 163 with me, Jessica Brigden of Jess B, Creative Cardiology. Hello, I hope you are having a great week. My paper pumpkin kit arrived over the weekend, and so I thought today we would make some paper pumpkin projects. This is the September with Love and Gratitude paper pumpkin kit. So it has an autumn theme to it. It is not holiday and it's not anything like that. It's just simply an autumn fall kit expressing love and gratitude. So there are some mini cards, some little 3x3 cards, as well as some little treat boxes that it makes. I was thinking they would be great party favors if you had even a fall bridal shower or a wedding. The favors, the little treats are super cute. Hi Kathy, hi Alicia, hello. Hi Tracy. Yes, so my kit just arrived and so I'm going to share some. Of course we'll make the projects, but I've got a few ideas that I think the supplies would be really good for, including a framed sampler. You know, where you did the little squares on a larger sheet to make a sampler. So if you have your paper pumpkin kit, go ahead and grab that and you can craft along with me. If you don't, I will share the colors that are included here so you can grab some cardstock and ink and some alternate supplies that would work really well with this. We have the pumpkin patch bundle. There's a gorgeous autumn leaves bundle, as well as the I think it's called like Fruitful Blessings. It's autumn flowers and things like that. We have a lot of fun fall themed projects in the mini catalog right now. So a few things there. And then I'm going to flip the camera here so I can show you. And then I don't know if you guys saw, but Stampin' Up's clearance rack was updated this morning. Of course, I'm on the East Coast, so by the time I got up this morning, I think some things were already on low inventory. I think some things are already gone. But I did just check before I went live here. There's a lot of great designer series papers. If you love or have fallen in love with the new Abundant Beauty decorative masks, where we've made the gorgeous little sunflower projects and things like that, there are 2 additional sets of masks that are in the clearance right now for like $6.30. The clearance rack items are like 60% off. So if you like what we did with the masks earlier this month, and then these quickly went out of stock, but good news, they are back. So you can head over to the online store, grab your Abundant Beauty masks. These are from the mini catalog. They're on page 47, right up here in the corner. So the new ones there are $10.50, and the 2 different sets that are on clearance right now are only like $6 and some cents. So great deals on there. Of course, a lot of designer series papers and a bunch of punches and things like that, and even some of the retiring colors. I saw Soft Succulent was there in the clearance rack with the markers and the paper and all of that. So be sure to check that out. Oh, good. Alicia spotted the clearance. I did post on my Facebook, my business page, as well as my customer group. I posted as soon as I got up this morning that, hey, we've got clearance. But yeah, definitely check that out. My store link is in the video description below. Let me go ahead and flip this and we will get started here. Okay, so quick flip around there. Hi Kathy, hello. So if you are going to head over to the online store, check out the clearance and some of the items that have been restocked, like the Abundant Beauty decorative masks. Yeah, there's boho blue cardstock that was out of stock for a while. That is back in. Several items have been restocked. So lots of things to check out, but my September host code is M6U6Z7BC. Of course, I still have some fun Best Day Butterfly Kisses card and project kits and things like that. I will be sending those out. I actually ordered some new things to make my thank you cards with, and I will get those wrapped up tomorrow and get everything in the mail. So still time to place your order for those. And let's see, I got lots of stuff here. So I have here, hi Karen, So I got my paper pumpkin kit. This is the September kit. So you did have to update your subscription. You had to order, be a subscriber by September 10th. Okay. So mine arrived, I believe it was Saturday. If you don't have yours yet, it's probably trickling in. And then what I have here too is the journal. This was an add-on. And I wanted to show you guys, this is absolutely gorgeous. This is out of stock now, but just a heads up when it comes to the add-ons, Stampin' Up! Has been announcing those prior to the kit being delivered. So about the same time that they announce what the month's kit is going to be, that's when they also release the add-on. So this was available during the month of, I think they announced it August 11th. And then it sold out there early September. But this is a fun coordinating item that was the add-on. It has some gold foil stickers on the inside page. And then it's just a journal, little notebook there. It's so really cute. And then it's got little gold clips and things. But that was the add-on. And sadly, that has since sold out. I did grab a couple of extra, and I did order an extra of the paper pumpkin kits. So if you are interested, you've missed out, please send me a private message, text me, email me, however you want to message, leave a comment, and I can help you out with that. Okay. Ooh, Kathy is in the middle. She's got some sounds like some Halloween projects going on, getting some treats and kids cards made. All right. Oh, and Sandy said you skipped this one. Aw, yes, but you can use alternate projects because even Wendy in the UK doesn't have, they can't get paper pumpkin over there. But all right, so let's go ahead and open this. The inside is pretty. So no, the box is pretty. The main color here is Lost Lagoon. And then inside, we've got a Lost Lagoon ink spot. And this time the tissue paper is actually Mossy Meadow. It's quite pretty. Now the stamps, it's like I said, it's not Halloween at all. It's simply autumn. The sentiments say grateful for you, thank you, for you, thanks, and with love and gratitude. Hi Terry, hello, hello. So we've got the kit there. It's so nice that I have my window open, so you might be hearing some cars driving by, birds chirping. Ziggy has been running in and out here this afternoon, checking on me, so. All right, so, well, like I said, if you skipped this one and you're having regrets, feel free to message me because I did grab an extra. The other thing you can do is, let me see. So this week they do their second run on the 20th. So if the billing didn't, if there was an issue with your billing on the 11th, then Stampin' Up! Does a second try on the 20th. And then the Monday after that is when they list any extras in the online store. So check next Monday in the online store. And if you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you just have to have an active account. You don't have to have, gotten this month's kit, but they will list the extra kits that they have and things like that. So if you see this and you love it, check the online store on Monday and you might be able to at least grab the kit itself. Okay, so like I said, it does mini cards, some 3x3s. It does some really pretty little treat boxes. I'm going to save my chipboard. You never know when we need that, when we do blending and things like that. Okay, so I just kind of dumped the contents here. This doesn't look like much, but when I flip it over, check it out. These are the gold foil, the little succulent leaves. Really pretty. And then we've got some like eucalyptus die cuts here. Some banner pieces, and they have the gold foil. Looks like we've got, these are the glue dots. Okay. And then we've got 2 sheets of pumpkins and leaves, or gourds if you want to call them. And okay, so these are the treat boxes. They have like almost like a linen textured look to them. They're flat paper, but they have the look of texture. Okay, and then the mini cards. All right, these are Lost Lagoon, but again, it has a textured pattern to it. So you get, I believe it's eight of the mini cards, and then 8 treat boxes as well. So fun kit here. And then check out the envelopes for these. Now we're definitely gonna have to take some of these apart. Does the design, no, the design does not go all the way through. It goes onto the bottom. Oh, Terry, your paper pumpkin is taking a detour, huh? Oh goodness, I don't know what's going on with your address or your post office there, but I'm glad you called. If you do ever have issues with your paper pumpkin, let your demonstrator know or give Stampin' Up! A call, because they want you to be happy, and they'll definitely, you know, resend another kit if somehow yours got lost in the mail or damaged or something like that, and can help you with any issues. All right, so the pattern inside these mini envelopes is quite pretty. So I just took that apart. So we'll use the inside of that for some projects too. So let's go ahead and see what we've got. I like to make everything as is, one of everything as designed first. So we're going to start with one of our mini cards. And the nice thing is they're already scored. So we'll just go ahead and fold that. And we're going to stamp some of these little eucalyptus leaves. So that is why I have saved my chipboard here, so I can work with that underneath my project here and protect my desk. All right, so we're going to use the Lost Lagoon. Now I do have my full-size pad here that I'm going to be using, and I saved my spots for travel and making up little kits and things like that when I need them. So we're going to, yeah, Terry, there was an issue in August with the tracking because Stampin' Up! Was updating their shipping system in the warehouse, and so they did ship, but there was a little bit of an issue with the tracking numbers starting out there, but that has since been resolved. So so you should be able to get tracking info for your kits now. All right, so we just stamped some succulents around the edge there, kind of making our own little designer series paper. We need a little mini tag. Where were those? Those were in this pile here somewhere. There we go. Pull one of these out. And for this one, we're going to stamp the with love and gratitude. Okay, I'm going to use one of my tiny little blocks for that. See how I do eyeball it. Oh, I actually did pretty good because the way I'm standing is kind of at an angle. So I'm glad that turned out well. Okay, so we need one of each pumpkin. And then we need a set of leaves. Okay, and then one of the gold foil pieces here. So it looks like we want a smaller piece. There's two different sizes here. There's the shorter piece, and then there's the larger pieces here. Let me show you. The nice thing, these are nice and sturdy. They've got a thicker, it's not quite a chipboard, but it's not thin like foil. It's definitely got a thicker backing to it. Okay, so there's two different sizes. We're going to use the small one on this. All right, I have my glue dots handy and my little dimensionals that were in here too. I think my dimensionals are, I saw them. They are here. There's the stamps. Where did the dimensionals go? All right, well, I have a bunch. They'll turn up. Okay, so we're going to put some dimensionals on our pumpkins, and then just a couple of glue dots on everything else. So let's go ahead and put those together. Oops, stuck my finger in my ink pad. Maybe I should close that up for right now so I don't... Oh, there's my dimensionals. See, I knew they'd turn up. Okay, anybody else have things go missing on their desk? All right, and then use my take your pick tool here to pry off the glue dots and place them on our accessories, our little die cuts here. Oh, come on here. There we go. Yeah, Tracy says everything goes missing. Always. I mean, it's here. It's kind of like when you lose things in your purse, like your keys, and you know they're in there, but you cannot find them, and it turns out they're like fell into a pocket or something, and they're right there, and you can have to dump everything out in order to find them. Oh, goodness. Yep. But I think it's because I always have too many projects going on at the same time. So, or I could say I need a bigger craft room, right? Don't we all? Have you guys seen the joke where it it says something about I need a bigger box for my craft supplies, and then the husband goes, "Stop calling our house a box." Yeah, I need a house just for my stamping. That would work. Okay, so let's place all of these items here onto our card. So I'll just remove the little backing from these. Okay, so this is going to go up towards the top here. Stick that down, and then we're going to put on our leaves. Now, the thing with 3x3 cards is you might be thinking, well, I don't have a use for 3x3s because usually a 3x3 is like a gift card. You would include it in a package or something. You cannot, at least here in the US, you cannot mail 3x3 cards. The minimum size for mailing a card is 3.5 by 5. All right, so when it comes to these mini cards like this, what you can do, and I'll show you that a little bit later here in the video, is you can, let me grab a glue dot for this. All right, so what they have is the glue dot goes here with dimensionals on this side, because that way when the small pumpkin overlaps the large pumpkin, right, then it's all even. Okay. Right, isn't that cute? So as I was saying, when it comes to these mini cards, if you need it for something other than a gift, then what you can do is mount it on a larger card base and then use it that way. Okay. Isn't that cute? All right, so that makes a nice card. So essentially, let's do that now. Let's I said I'd show you a couple alternates. So let's just go right to one. I'm going to grab, let's do I think I want to do crumb cake would make a good base layer for this. So I'm going to grab a sheet of crumb cake cardstock and my trimmer, and we're going to just cut this into a half sheet. So again, if you are stamping along with other supplies, then you could use some crumb cake cardstock and some Lost Lagoon. All right, so I'm going to just do a 5.5 by 8.5 sheet of the crumb cake to start with here. Go ahead and fold that in half. Okay. And then when it comes to these, then take your trimmer again. Go ahead and cut these. The nice thing is they're the same on the front and the back here. You know, the front side, back side, and then it's white on the flip side there. So go ahead and put these in. These are 3 by 3. So oh, actually they're a little bit bigger than that. They are 3.5. Okay. All right. So put that in there, just cut it in half, and then we can take one of these and decorate it just like the first. Okay, and just make it a regular. See how nicely it fits right on there? Actually, let's do both. I'm going to do 2 cards in one because you can change out the shape or the orientation. So we'll do one that is portrait style like that and one that is landscape. Okay, and you can change it up a little bit just by the way you put it on here. Okay, let's do one like that and then one like this. Okay, can you see both of those and the range of the camera? All right, so let's again grab our pieces. So we need a couple of these smaller leaves, okay, for each of these. And then we need the pumpkins. Okay, so it's so simple. So again, just taking your 3 by 3, cutting it in half, and then you can use them on a card front. This would work too if you've got note cards. So just work with whatever you've got there. Okay. And so we should do our little stamping first. Okay, so if you want to do your eucalyptus stamping on here, do that first before you glue everything down. Okay. So that's the nice thing. 3 by 3s. They are little mini cards, but it also, they work great for mounting on a larger project. Okay, so don't let the fact that they're minis deter you. Okay, so there we go. First one, and this is just random stamping all over, so okay, there we go. That works good. Close this for now because I have a tendency to stick my arm in them. Okay, so now that we've got that, go ahead. I'm going to use my stamp and seal since I've got that handy. I'm going to we're designing 2 cards at once. All right, hope you guys don't find that too confusing. But again, the first one is going to be portrait style. So just make sure you're about even on the left, the right, and the top. Okay. And then second one here, we're going to do landscape. And I'm going to put that one towards the left. Again, make sure you're even on the top, the left, and the bottom. Okay. And then what we're going to do, I actually think when it comes to the little labels, I think I want to do one down here. We'll have that kind of coming off towards the right. That'll help balance that one out. And then with this, we could put it just right up at the top like we did with that one. Or again, we could even balance it out right below. Okay, there's lots of options there. So let's go ahead and stick down our leaves. We'll do all our leaves first, and then we'll dimensional our pumpkins. Okay. Let me get those ready. Karen, thanks so much for joining us on your lunch break. Yes, replay will be available later, and who knows, usually when I do my paper pumpkin videos, they last a little bit longer than my than my usual weekly videos, so I might still be going for a while. Okay, I missed you guys on Friday. David had a last minute business trip out of state. We had to go down to Maryland, and since it ended up being an 8-hour drive, because we went to southern Maryland, down by the Chesapeake Bay, down along the Patuxent River there, and so I went with him. His boss is nice about that, letting me tag along there, because so we ended up driving down Wednesday because his appointment was Thursday morning, and then by the time we got done in the afternoon, we ended up staying Thursday night and driving back on Friday. Okay, let me see, a couple more dots on everything here. I know this is the boring part, just putting all the adhesive on everything, but you don't want your project to fall apart, so go ahead and get those all ready. Okay, so we put on our foil first. Again, I put those up here towards the top a little bit. You can even, since we've added a larger, oh, did it fade out? Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Oh, you know why? Because I got a phone call. I have everything turned to do not disturb, but for some reason, when I get a phone call, it still glitches. So that's what happened. Okay. All right. Hi, Janelle. Hello, hello. All right. So hopefully I am back for everybody. But yep, that's what happens. Don't you guys love it when telemarketers call? Oh my goodness. Seems like it's been non-stop lately. Okay, so put all of our leaves on here. Again, because we've mounted this on a larger base, you can extend beyond your Lost Lagoon layer here if you like. Okay. All right, so go ahead and put these on wherever you like. Okay. Let's see. This one's a little white pumpkin. It's kind of like a gourd, so you can kind of put it anywhere here. Let's just stick it over there. And then let's put, I mean, with love and gratitude is very nice. There's also grateful for you and even a thank you. Thank you might be nice. Let's go ahead and do one of those as well. All right, let me grab another little block here. Okay, so we'll put this. Did pretty good lining that up in the center. And then I'm going to put dimensionals on that as well. Kind of pop it up here. Okay, and then voila. Okay, there you go. So that is alternate number 1 using the 3x3 for a full-size card. Okay, just by adding a little bit of crumb cake cardstock there. All right, so we'll add those over here. Just kind of tuck them out of the way. Okay, and now we're going to finish our landscape design. Okay. Let's do that. And we'll add our leaves. Okay. And then our pumpkins. Oops, where'd my little one go? All right, let's see. Put the big one here. That's our label. All right, somewhere our little pumpkin ran away. Again, we'll find it under something. Let's take that. And then with this, let's go ahead and do our greeting first, and that way we can decide where we want to place that little pumpkin. Okay. Yeah, I think I want to pop that one up too. Hi, Carmen. How are you? Good to see your name pop up here. Hope you had a great summer. It's definitely becoming fall here in New York already. Let me see. I'm going to extend that one over towards the right. I think that looks cute. And then, let's see, put this one, yeah, we can kind of overlap it a little bit. I feel like it needs just a little something. So let's go ahead and let's add just a little bit of linen thread. I think that would work nice. Of course, my linen thread was on a different table, but let's go ahead, just grab our linen thread, or you probably have some left over from another paper pumpkin kit, because they're usually pretty generous with the twine and things. So we'll make a little bow here, or a big bow, whatever you got there. Okay, and then we'll take a glue dot. Let's put it right here on the corner of our sentiment label. A little dot to hold our knot. Oh yeah, that's cute. That looks much better, doesn't it? It's a cute little rustic theme to it. All right, I think that looks good. All right, so far we've added, there's my pumpkin right under there. So far we've just added a little bit of crumb cake cardstock, and on this card a little touch of linen thread. Let me put those little glue dot backings. So what do you think? Portrait or landscape here? Again, I just followed the same directions from the main little mini card, but for some of you, full-size cards might be a bit more practical. I guess is the good way to put it. All right, so that's the first design here with a couple of alternates. All right, but we also have a treat box here to make. So let's go ahead and check that out. We'll make one of these treat boxes. Again, they're cute. Let me see the size. I don't know if it tells me the size on those, but it looks like the box itself is, so it's going to be, the box itself is 5 inches, and the like 4.5 by, no, it's going to be 3.5 by 5. All right, is the finished box size. So let's check this out here. So to put this together, all right, so we're going to need a little bit of tear and tape, and they did include that. It's somewhere in this stack of stuff. There it is. Okay, a little bit of tear and tape. So what we're going to do, all right, let's make sure we've got, we're going to open it and actually shift it just a little bit. So have your flap here, the white part on the right, okay, and then flip up this larger flap on the bottom. Okay, we're going to put some tear and tape along that top edge of the flap, okay, and then on the bottom here, on the front, we're going to put some tape right along that as well. Okay, so you've got 2 spots with tape. All right, so now we're going to flip it over. Okay, so the front point is on the left, and then down here on the little flap, we're going to put a little bit of tape along that one as well. Okay, So just 3 little bits of tape. Okay, and these are scored. I know it's hard to tell, but they do have a little bit of a gusset in them. Okay, so I'm going to press all these score lines first. It's actually just a little bit easier. Go ahead and score everything just so that you've got it all in the right spot. Okay. Again, fold down the gusset there. Okay. And pinch the top. All right, so the way that's going to work is this top flap's going to come right over the top. We have our adhesive here. So when it comes to the bottom, fold the larger bottom flap in, then remove your tear and tape from the left and right little flaps. Okay. And remove the tear and tape from that top flap. Okay, so try to hold this as square as you can. Flop that. Okay, that's not working. It's going to have to go this way. Fold those in first, then put it square. Okay. Come on. And then this one folds over the top. Okay. Then flip it back up. All right, and then take, I was going to say take your bone folder, but I've lost that too. Oh my goodness. I'm such a hot mess today. Okay, take your bone folder, take something, anyways, something that you can reach in with and just burnish. Take your toaster tongs, okay, whatever you've got that fits inside the box, and just burnish that to make the adhesive stick, okay? So that makes it nice and smooth. Gives your box a little bit of support. Now, your mini cards would, so they won't fit in there like directly. You could put a couple in like side to side and slide it in, okay? But it wouldn't, so you could put little mini cards in there, sort of. I would suggest filling it with a little gift. You could put something handmade in there. You could do some kind of baked good. This time of year, Werther's always has some fun flavor of like apple or pumpkin. They've got their hard candies or their the soft caramels. So whatever. So this is what I had in my cupboard. Okay. And I thought, well, let's just see what fits. So I've got my little bag of Werther's caramels here. This is the 2.22 ounce or 63 gram package. And well, you could put, so you could put all kinds of candies in there. So you could put candies in there, and you could maybe do maybe you could fit a little pair of mittens in there, something like that. Maybe a little embroidered handkerchief. I don't know, something cute could go in there like that. Okay. You could put some little packets of tea and a little, oh, maybe you have like a little jar of honey or something with some tea and one of those cute little decorative teaspoons. That would be kind of cute. All kinds of fun stuff that you could use as a gift here. But let's go ahead and see how we decorate the package. So for this, we are going to use the larger gold foil leaf. All right, so we did die cut one of those out at some point here. Okay, here we go. The larger leaf. And, oh, pumpkin spice latte sachets. They would be a good idea. Great idea, Wendy. Hi, Nessa. Hello, hello. Hi, Polly. Thank you, guys. Okay, so for this, we're going to use the double-edged banner. And then we also need, instead of pumpkins, we're going to do these gorgeous little eucalyptus bouquets here. Okay, so that's pretty much it. So the way they have us do this is that they actually have us putting it together. It's going to go on upside down. All right, so you're going to turn your gold foil upside down. Grab your, here we go, our glue dots here. Okay, so we're going to put a glue dot at the base here. And then we're going to put a couple of the lower leaves. So towards the right and the left. Okay, and then for that, then we're going to layer our eucalyptus die cut over top. Okay, so that's gonna go right on top of there. Okay, so just kind of line your stems up. All right, so it comes out like that. And then the little banner, and let's do it with love and gratitude, because if we're, I guess you can make it a thank you gift, but you could do grateful for you. That would be nice if you're just giving somebody a gift that's not necessarily a thank you gift. That would be nice too. Okay, so let's take our Lost Lagoon here. Yeah, let's do thankful for you. We'll put that, or grateful for you, excuse me. Okay. And then we'll do a couple of dimensionals. So this is how they're essentially holding the card, the little treat pouch shut. So you put the dimensionals on here, and then this sticks to, okay, go ahead and place this on here, and then remove the backing from these. Okay. And then that kind of sticks over the top. So essentially the weight, yeah, that doesn't work real well. So it looks like you have to put a couple, the instructions they're giving is to use a couple of dimensionals on the inside flap here. I like that idea and I don't. So thing is, if you put a couple dimensionals there, it's going to stick, which is, oh, okay, which is good. But it doesn't really allow you to open and reopen real well. Okay, so it kind of works as a more of a permanent fixture. What you could do is, honestly, I think the best idea I've heard so far is that at the Dollar Tree, dollar store, they might have some inexpensive Velcro closures. I know when I've done like little mini backpacks and things like that, you can get the little Velcro that go, so one side sticks here and there, and then you can Velcro it up and down. I think I like that idea a little bit better if it's something that you plan to open and close frequently. Of course, if you're just giving this as a gift and only expecting the recipient to open it and then, not worry about it, then the dimensionals are fine. But if you want to give it to somebody where they want to open it and close it and actually keep little, maybe you were gifting it to a grandchild or something and you wanted to keep their little treasures in there, then you might want to use Velcro so that you could open and close it that way. Okay, so the other alternate then is that maybe you don't need a whole bunch of treat boxes, just like the mini cards. So maybe what you could do is we can take a treat box here. All right, so we can cut apart. We know where the seams are. All right, so it's actually is one solid piece, which is pretty, okay, there's the seam. Here we go. So if you find the seam, then that is the best way to deconstruct this. The great thing about that is you could use this as a template for making other projects. Okay, so take this apart, write your measurements on, do that. For this project though, what we're going to do is we can come in and remove the edge pieces. So let's go ahead and put this. So we have a flat seam along the top. And I'm going to line up my score line right in the track of my trimmer there. Okay, so that way I've trimmed off the little edge. Okay, now I can rotate it again, find where the score line is, put that score line again right in the track of your trimmer, and that's going to be at the 5-inch, or just about at the 5-inch mark here. Okay, remove that, and then you can do the same thing. Find your score, trim out, again flip it over so that you've got a flat edge against the guide of your trimmer here. Okay. All right, so what we are left with is a piece that is essentially 3.5 by 5. Okay, so we're going to use this as a layer on some cardstock. So let's go ahead, let's put that on. Let's go with Lost Lagoon, since that is the color of the day. And somewhere here I had some Lost Lagoon cardstock. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna just do a half sheet. So let me put this in here at the 5.5-inch mark on the long side. Okay, so that will be our base. And you know, I think I want to frame that out just a little bit so that it's stands out just a little bit more. And let's go with, we're going to use these elements. Let's go with some Mossy Meadow. How about that? We'll change it up a little bit. All right, so I'm going to grab this. So we're going to do, it was 3, what did I say, 3.5? 3.5 by 5. So we're going to go 3 3/4. Three and 3/4 by 5 1/4. All right, so I'm going to go 1/4 of an inch larger for my layer. All right, now let's start to assemble here. We're going to adhere our little treat bag DSP. Adhere that to our Mossy Meadow. All right, then we have our Lost Lagoon as our card base. Here's my bone folder. Okay. Yeah, I think that'll work. It's not perfectly sized for this size card front, but you can make do just a little bit here. Okay, I need to change the blades of my trimmer. Okay, all right, so let's see, mount that so it's centered on there pretty well. And now, instead of an upside down treat here on our gift box, I think I'm gonna go right side up. So we'll use one of the eucalyptus leaves and then one of the large die cut foil pieces. Okay. And then we can still use the little banner. Okay. All right. So I think that's good. So let's go ahead. We'll put our gold foil pieces down first. So grab some glue dots for this. So I'm going to do top and bottom, and then I'll fill in a couple pieces kind of on the left or right here. Okay, let's go over here kind of towards the middle. We'll work our way towards the base. There we go. And maybe one right over here on the left, so it doesn't feel left out. Okay. So let's see here. Sorry to keep sticking my hand in front of the camera. I don't have those glue dots. Okay, so I'm going to put it off towards the left just a little bit, because then that way if I center my other die cut, then it still shows. And I'm doing that towards the top portion of the card so that I have room depending on where I want to put. You could center it. You could put this down here or there. It's totally up to you. You can come down a little bit lower on that one. Let's check that out. Yeah. All right, we're gonna leave that where it is, and then we're gonna just put dimensionals on this so that it layers over the top. That. That's the best solution for this. All right, so we're gonna put some glue dots on this. Okay. Or sorry, dimensionals. Okay, then angle this however you like a little bit. I like, so kind of going with their stems lined up a little bit. And that way you've got both, you've got the foil sticking out from behind, peeking out from behind. Okay, then let's go with, how about we'll do the Love and Gratitude on this one. Okay. That's pretty square. Okay, I'm gonna use dimensionals on that as well. I'm gonna just do a left and a right, and I'm gonna leave the center open, because that way when I place it here over the stems, I'm gonna tuck it under that. Let's put it under that leaf just a little bit here. Again, so it kind of peeks out from behind. Okay. And then I like that linen trim. All right, linen thread. I think that it's just so simple, but it goes really well with this rustic look. I'm actually surprised that Stampin' Up! Didn't include some of this in the kit. Usually they include some kind of a ribbon or embellishment of some kind. So maybe, I think that's what the gold foil was in this kit. That's why they didn't do that. They were thinking the gold foil would be the embellishment. Let me get my loops proportionately sized here. Okay. And then trim that off. All right, again, let's take a glue dot. I'm gonna put it right over here on the left, although I could put it in the center of the stem, but if I put it on the left, that way it doesn't interfere too much with the sentiment. Okay. in which case it's quite pretty. And it's kind of nice to have that textured, it's just the textured look there. You could use like the Subtles embossing folder or something to get a similar look. Or actually on the clearance rack, they had the linen paper. I don't think I ever got any of that. But it's 12 by 12 sheets of actual linen paper. It has an adhesive backing to it. That would be a really neat something that you could use for a card like this. Okay, so there you go. So you can take it from treat to card. All right, if you don't have a use for maybe so many different treat boxes. Okay, so a couple of alternate ideas coming from the packaging here. They do give us a couple of ideas, and I do like some of those. So let me move these finished projects out of the way. We're going to bring our trimmer back in, and this time use the disassembled mini envelope that I had here. So again, line your score line up in the track of your trimmer. Okay, so you can trim that off. Now you've got a straight edge to go ahead and again go in your trimmer track. Okay, I'm gonna throw that edge away. Okay. Again, because this is thinner envelope paper, you might get a little bit of fluffing. Just trim that off. Okay. Although if you do end up with some, it actually gives it a little bit of a kind of that distressed look that kind of goes with this, what do you want to call it? Country chic, rustic country charm. That's the theme of this kit. All right, so I've got a little designer paper. I think I'm going to cut off the flap here, in which case find my score line there so I know where to go. All right, and I'm gonna trim this a little bit because the envelope, of course, is larger than the card. So this is actually like 3 3/4. Okay. All right, let's see. Just make sure that's square. Looks pretty good on all sides. Let's trim off. All right, a little bit more of that. Okay. All right, pretty good there. So now we can take that and we can put that on card base. Let's go ahead and I have some more Mossy Meadow, but I also have some Pretty Peacock. And even though Pretty Peacock isn't one of the colors listed, I think I forgot to read those off to you guys. So Copper Clay, which is the warm brown for the stems, Copper Clay, Crumb Cake, Lost Lagoon, Mossy Meadow, Pebbled Path, and Gold. But I think Pretty Peacock goes really well with that too, as a nice alternate here. So let's see. I know that's too dark, I think. So let's, you know what, let's do a little bit of a contrast and see. Actually, I think that might look good. Let's use some Copper Clay as the base. Don't forget to clean out your trimmer track there. Okay. So putting this in at 5.5 for our card base. Okay, of the Copper Clay. This is one of the new in colors. All right, and then for our base here, we're gonna go, let's see, how do I want to do that? You know what, let's go, I'm gonna just make a full base. I'm gonna do 4 by 5 1/4 on this. So let's find the 4-inch mark here. And then trim it down to 5 1/4. All right, I because I have a little bit of I've got a plan. All right, so we're going to take this and use this envelope liner, or the envelope itself, as my designer series paper. And I'm going to mount that here on my pretty peacock layer. Okay, and then before I mount this on my copper clay card base, I'm going to add a little bit of ribbon to this. All right, we're going to do a little ribbon, and we're going to hide the seam. I kind of had the little scratchy edge, so let me grab some of that copper clay ribbon. All right, I've got a couple different, here we go. So I think I'm going to use this one. This is the copper clay textured ribbon, and it's a little bit wider, so I'm going to use that, and that'll help hide that raggedy edge. So cut it just a little bit wider than your card here, and then apply your adhesive on the back. This kind of the succulents or eucalyptus pattern reminds me of some of the, like the fern greenery, what was it called, Forever Greenery, that we had a couple catalogs ago. I loved that collection. So if you've got some of that in your stash, that would look really nice with this too. Let's go ahead, we'll do a little bow. I've got to do it the other side. Here we go. Tuck that in. Just doing a little knot here. And you can slide that along however you, all right, we can slide it around once we decide where we want to put it. Okay. All right, so since we've got that, let's take some of these gold foil pieces. So we've got some pops of texture here. Let's see what fits. So that seems a little bit big. I feel like that's a little too big. So let's go with a shorter piece. And then I'm going to pop this out too, just so I can, you could use this for other little die cut pieces if you want. If you want to reuse that, you could do that. It's a nice, again, it's thicker than our usual foil, so it makes a nice sturdy base there. All right, let's see. Nope, that's too close, so let's not do that. Let's go ahead and let's contrast that with some, I think maybe like a pumpkin or something would be kind of cute on there. Do something just a little bit different. Maybe if we had, let's see here, is that big enough? If you had the stitched circle would be perfect, but let me see. Here we go. The 2 inch, the 2 3/8 circle punch. This is one from the Circle Sayings. That I think would be perfect. And it looks like the color with this is definitely the basic white. Okay, I was thinking it might have been vanilla, but it's definitely the basic white. So let's take a scrap of that. Again, this is the 2 3/8 circle punch. All right, let's do that. We'll just kind of create a fun little, oh, that one got bent. don't want to do that. That's kind of cute, right? Something like that might work. Tie in some of that copper clay again. Or actually, that's kind of cute. Just like that. I think I like that the best. Just do a little gold foil on there. So let's do that. We'll keep it simple. Okay. Put some of these little dots on here. Hi, Luann. How are you? Yes, a green, a brown circle. That's true. That might look nice. So if we're just doing the foil, then I could do the white circle a little bit smaller and then use the 2 3/8 for a pretty peacock circle. I think that would be good. All right, let's try. I agree. Let's try that. And then take, because, yeah, we'll come in with a 2. All right, I'm just gonna slide that back around. Come on. Sorry, not meaning to shake on the camera, but poke that. That's what that putty end is for, actually. Help you move things around. There we go. Perfect. Okay. All right. That'll be good. So we'll glue our circles together. Put a couple of dimensionals on the back of that. Okay, yes, so that does look better in here. Okay, then stick on our foil. Okay. Just a little something like that. Let's slide this over. Okay, so it's more centered. Okay, and then I don't know that I want to use a banner for that. I could. I mean, we've got plenty of them. But we could take our sentiment and we could just stamp it. I feel like those are just a little bit too small. So let's see what else we might have. I have the So Sincere. This was on my desk from last week's video. Let's use this. That would be cute. I feel like this could be a sympathy. I'm going to do that. Unfortunately, I've had a whole slew of, needed a whole slew of sympathy cards here lately. And so I think this will work out good, and then I can use it for that purpose. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to use some pretty peacock ink as well. So let me reach under here and grab. I'm going to go just with the pretty peacock just so that it shows up a little bit more, that tone on tone. Okay. All right. There we go. So subtle. I think that works good. Okay, so we'll do, that was a fun little alternate that really kind of took on a life of its own. Okay. Let's see here. We'll do another one inspired by the project sheet. This one we're going to use some Mossy Meadow. We'll do a Mossy Meadow base. So again, 5.5. And again, you can use any of your supplies to make this card. This is not necessarily specific for this one. We're going to take some of that basic white, and I'm going to cut a piece that's, well, let's use the end that's already been chopped into. All right, so I'm going to cut 5.5. And then I'm going to cut a, let's go with 3 inches. All right, I'm going to do 3 by 5.5. And this, I'll show you the layout here in a second. Okay, so fold your Mossy Meadow card base. Okay, and then this is going to lay across the front. Now, before we do that, we're going to pull that chipboard back in here and our eucalyptus stamp, and let's get that cleaned off. I have my chamois handy, I think, and it's still damp, so that'll work. We'll use that. Okay. So we're going to swap out, and this time we're going to use some Mossy Meadow ink. Okay. We'll do Mossy Meadow. You could use your markers, essentially kind of recreate the look of the Designer Series paper. I'm just going to go full strength Mossy Meadow and create your own little, background. I feel like that's really strong. Let's stamp that off a bit first. And then, yeah, oops, come on here. It's because I had a bump underneath it. All right, let's flip that over because I'm not liking that. All right, do over, stamp off. And then come in from the side. All right, there we go. Again, stamp off. And come in. Kind of build your own little background here. Stamp off again. There we go. Okay, so created our own little background with that. And then you could take your, just use the same ink if you want, and come right down here towards the bottom right. Stamp your sentiment. Okay. Actually, I'm pleased that came out straight. All right. Get these things out of the way. And then I still have that linen thread around here. Let's see how I want to do that. Let's see. I think I want my bow to be up by the sentiment. So I'm going to take my thread, and I'm going to, because it's so thin, you want to wrap it around a couple of times and then come over and then leave. Make sure you give yourself enough length that you can have some to work with here. Okay. All right. Bring the ends together. Kind of try to straighten that out. All right, here we go. And I'm going to go around both. I'm going to bring my tail underneath that first loop. All right, and we're going to tie a knot. So I'm using my palm of my left hand to hold this paper down. All right, to kind of hold it straight. And you can still wind it back and forth a little bit. Now, before I attempt my bow on this, let's flip it over and we'll put our adhesive here on the back. I find when you're working with flimsy thread like that, it's actually easiest to mount it on your card first and then do your bow, because it gives it more stability. Okay, so that's kind of cute, a real rustic tie your bow. Okay, all right, this one's short, so let's shorten our loops a little bit and then trim this one so that they're about similar in length. And then I'm going to take one of these glue dots and we're going to, let me take the top off the dot here. All right, I got the whole thing. I'm going to slide that under where my knot is, remove the backing, and then place the knot of my bow right there on that glue dot. That'll keep it from slipping all around. Okay, so that's kind of cute, little rustic. What do you think? That was the inspiration here. I kind of like that. It's just one color, tone on tone. And by stamping off, it gave us a little bit of the variation there in the ink. I like that. All right, who is still with me? Because we've been at this for a little while and I didn't even show you what I was thinking. All right. Oh, good. Alicia says she loves that. Perfect. All right. So that's what I have for alternate cards. Okay. So we did a couple, just a change of the orientation of the first card. And then we kind of went all out with this other card. This one was from the treat. Okay, good. So we still have a few viewers. All right, so we ended up with 5 cards, 5 alternate cards. That's pretty good. And we still have our treat and our mini. Okay, so we got all of that. Now, what I was thinking is that if you wanted to do what they call a sampler, all right, because these pieces are large, if you brought in, I don't know if I got room on my desk here, a 12 by 12, in this case, a 12 by 12 piece of basic white, then we could take these mini cards. All right, so we would need, usually for a sampler, you'd need 9, okay, especially if you're working with this size. Again, put these in so you can see the score line in your track here. All right, so since these are 3.5 inch and we do need 9 of them, so that's 2, 4, 6, 8. So this would use several of your 3x3 cards. Okay, and then 9, and you'd have a half of one left over. Okay. All right, so let's put that there. So these would be our 9 squares. And then, so I'll give you kind of a visual here. Let's see here. Because they are 3.5, so we could layer a contrasting color underneath them. So I think it's important to note, because of the grain, you know, like the texture of these cards, make sure that the line is all going the same. Okay. Otherwise, if you're a little bit OCD like me, you're gonna notice. All right, so you really don't. I was thinking of contrasting this, putting another layer underneath, but honestly, with these being 3.5 by 3.5, you really don't have a whole lot of room for another layer under there if you depending on how you want your, like how big you want your grid lines to be. All right, so I think it looks good to have about a 1/2 inch border around the edge, because remember, whatever kind of frame you're going to use is going to eat away at some of the edge too. So I think give yourself a good 1/2 inch. Oh, thank you, Wendy. Yeah, it looks nice against the white. So I think what I'm going to do is I like to start with a corner piece. All right, we do our corners. All right, again, make sure your grain is going the right way. Come in, so let's make sure that's a 1/2 inch on the top and the left. Okay, then let's come over, do each of your 4 corners first, and then we can fill in from there. Okay. All right, do the 4 corners. Now, I know some of you will measure all of this out, and honestly, I just don't have the patience for that. So I'm gonna eyeball this, and we're gonna hope for the best, because that's how I work. And honestly, if it's framed and it has decoration and everything, nobody's gonna notice if you're off just a little bit. Okay, so we've got all 4 corners. All right, now we can start to fill in the middle pieces here. So start with a top, or in this case, going with the left. Again, make sure your grain is all in the same direction. Okay, and I'm gonna kind of go clockwise here and rotate around. So our middle square will be the last one. Okay, that looks, all right, looks like we're pretty well square. Let's move over here towards the right. Okay, and then I'm going to do the bottom. And actually, I think I eyeballed that pretty well, because my bottom line is pretty straight. Okay. All right. And then the last one is the middle piece here. Okay. All right, so we have our grid here. All right, so we have our 9 square grid using the mini cards. All right, let's pull in some of our die cut. If you lost me there for a minute, again, phone call. David's probably like, are you still on your video? All right, well, let's pop in these pieces. We've got some leaves. All right, so I think those are, and then we've got a short little, we've got some of the shorter foil pieces too. Okay, so we could do, let's see, I almost think I want to decorate the middle piece like we did from the mini card, something like that. Yeah, it's not now, David. He's so good. He's probably just leaving work, or getting ready to leave work, and I think he's going to the gym, or has a couple things he's gonna do afterwards. So let's see. Let's go ahead, and I think I'm gonna use the inspiration from the mini card for the center piece, and let's work from that first. Okay, so we'll use these glue dots. Oops, come on, sometimes they have a mind of their own. Okay. All right, so again, if you're working with your paper pumpkin kit, great. If you're working with other supplies, then I've just got a basic white 12 by 12 background here, and then I've got 9 3.5 inch squares of the Lost Lagoon. And if you wanted to add, I mean, these from the kit already have a textured look to them, but if you're doing something on your own, you could add a little bit of texture to those. Again, I think I'm going to have it so the foil peaks just off of the edges there. Okay. And then we'll use, again, glue dots for these leaves. And then we'll fill in a couple. All right, I think that's fine because we're going to layer things on top. And especially if it's a sampler, it's not something that's really going to be touched or held. It would be framed and hung up. So let's go ahead, peek off just off the edges. Now I did not stamp this first, but I think, oh, are you still there? Okay. Yes. Kathy, hopefully I'm still here. And that blip was because David called. David called to check in. All right, so if you guys are still with me, okay, Alicia and Wendy, you're still here. All right, good. All right, I am just popular this afternoon with these phone calls. Okay. But like I said, I did not stamp this panel, I think, because I want them to all be similar. And so I think that's fine. We'll go, I'm going to leave this pumpkin as kind of the center here of that panel. And then this one's already got a couple little, this is the one I lost earlier. Already has its little dots on it. Okay. Again, coming just off the edge. And then I think that little short banner that says love and gratitude, I think that might actually work as a cute little sentiment for this. We can kind of tuck it in amongst the leaves. I think that would be kind of a cute little theme here for the banner. I'm going to clean that Mossy Meadow ink off of it first, though. And we're going to go with, I think I'm going to go with the Lost Lagoon ink. Although that kind of blends in. You know, let's go with Pretty Peacock because it's just a little bit darker. All right, so let's grab that. All right, so we're going to stamp Pretty Peacock ink here on our banner. Oh, okay, good. All right, it came out a little dark at the end, but I think it's okay. So we'll take that and yeah, let's just put a little bit of Stampin' Seal on there. I think that'll be kind of the easiest thing to kind of stick it, kind of tuck it in a little bit. All right, hopefully it's going straight across there. All right, I think that's kind of cute. I think that works. All right, now that we've got that initial piece done, we can kind of determine how we want these others to go. Let's see, that would be kind of cute, kind of doing a left and a right, something like that. What do you guys think? I think something like that where the gold foil kind of sticks out. And we do those little banners off to the left and right. I think that would be kind of cute. And then let's see here. You could obviously add in all kinds of other elements to this, but if I'm just working with what I've got here, then I think I might do that and kind of dimensional Oh, you can't see it. Sorry about that. All right, let's stick some of these down. I think that'll work. So I'm going to put a couple of glue dots on these gold foil pieces. And we'll do top left and bottom right with these eucalyptus pieces. All right, I do want to keep them a little bit 3D, or, you know, so they move just a little bit. So you can always add more glue dots if we need to. But let's have that, again, kind of take, there we go, kind of go towards the left. And then we'll put dimensionals on this. And I think that works. So we'll just go right in a row up the flower. Okay. And have that go towards the right a little bit. Ooh, and then we'll bring in some of that twine, that linen thread. I think that will be cute. I don't do a lot of like home decor pieces, but I do like samplers, or that's what I call this is a sampler. You could also use this as a scrapbook page. So instead of decorating all of the squares, you could swap out and do photographs on some of them, kind of mix them in. This would be kind of cute, especially with the love and gratitude theme. You could use photos of family, or photos of the grandkids or something like that, or kids. That would be kind of cute. So do a little, isn't that pretty? All right, I want to do the same thing down towards the bottom right. And this time I'm going to have my gold sprigs going, pointing out here towards the right. Let's see here. I'm going to try to speed this up just a little bit because you guys have been with me for quite a while here. All right, so let's put one towards the middle. All right, so these are going to go off towards the right. Okay, and then dimensionals on these. All right, so you could totally make this, customize it, but I think this gives you a pretty good idea of some things that you could do here. Again, I kind of like this linen thread, and it's so inexpensive. I think it's like $4 or $4.50 for a spool that will last you forever. So I said, check your other, if you've been a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, check your other kits, because quite often Stampin' Up! Will include some linen thread in the kit, and they always include a little, usually some extra, more than we need in there. Okay, so again, just put this at the base with a glue dot down here. Okay, so it's kind of, I realize it's kind of hard to show on the camera. All right, but I'm gonna come down here on the left with some little pumpkins. Okay, we'll do a set of the big leaves on the pumpkin. All right, and then you could do some extra punch art with quotes, or I think what I'm gonna do, I think it would be cute with some photos. Let's see here. let's do that. So we do a pumpkin, large pumpkin down towards the left, and then we can even take a little one. There's my dimensionals. Where's my little pumpkin? Little pumpkin and a set of leaves for up towards the right. All right, let's check this out. And if I do that, then that would leave room for essentially 4 photos on here, which would be kind of cute. Okay. All right. Oh, Wendy, you're so sweet. All right, let's see. Let's go towards this way a little bit. And then our little pumpkin. We'll just kind of nestle that in here a bit. Okay. That looks a little sparse. I think we could put, maybe that definitely needs some little sprigs amongst it. Let's do that. I think that would be kind of cute. So we'll put a couple glue dots on there just so it's not quite so sparse. Okay. But again, you could create something similar if you have the fern set, or you could do the use the pumpkin patch or any of that from the current catalog right now. The mini catalog's got some really cute things in it. Okay, let's do another little one down here to balance that out. I love that gold foil kind of popping through things. Oh yeah, that would be cute. Isn't that cute? I'll just pop some of this, tuck it in there a little bit. All right, so then again, you could keep going. You could add additional fall things. I actually think I like it a little bit simple like this, not overly busy. I actually think I like it plain. I would be okay with that. But again, you could add photos. Now, if you were going to do photos, I would order the 4x4 photos or crop your 4x6s. Crop those down, and because the squares here are 3.5, I would crop your photos down to maybe 3 1/4. All right, to 3 or 3 1/4. Let's see, lift up just a little bit of those dimensionals and kind of tuck in that gold. All right, what do you guys think? Again, I kept it very, very simple. The only thing we added was a little bit of linen thread down here at the top and the bottom. I did pull in, if you wanted to do some embellishments on here, I kind of inventoried what we would have in this color scheme. And we do have the new blooming pearls from the mini catalog. There's some Lost Lagoon and some gold in those. Those are really pretty. Those are from the mini catalog. They are part of the, let me see, they're way towards the back here. Page 53. Okay, so the blooming pearls are part of this Garden Walk collection. All right, so those, I think, because they have the gold in them, would go nicely with this. The other things you might have in your stash, the Tinsel Gems 3-pack has kind of that Coastal Cabana Lost Lagoon color to it. The adhesive back speckled dots. I know my pack is a mess. These are from the autumn collection. These have that copper clay. All right, because it's hard to tell. So Stamp It Up Wet with copper clay on here. Let me show you the difference. So we did the card. It was copper clay, has that rich tone to it. But the pumpkin, really, you could also go with Calypso Coral, but that shows you a little bit of the difference. So the speckled dots have the copper clay in them, as well as the crumb cake. That would tie in nicely with this. And then even the ombre matte decorative dots, those have a Calypso Coral, but they fade to kind of a petal pink. Those would also work. But I think ultimately my favorite here would be the blooming pearls. All right, so you might want to add some of those to your next order. Those are kind of cute. We could decorate a little bit with this. Yeah, add those to your order. Add the Abundant Mask, the Abundant Beauty decorative masks that are now back in stock. Okay, those are also from the mini catalog. All right, grab those. Only $10.50. And then while you're at it, check out the additional mask sets on the clearance rack for just $6 and change. There's still some good deals to be had on the clearance rack with up to 60% off there. I'm thinking maybe some of these little pearls might work here. They kind of have a little gold reflection to them. So I think that might work a little bit. All right, you could also add these to your other cards. Okay, but just keeping it simple. All right, but let's show you how those look on there. I don't know if I can lift this enough to try to show you the whole panel in there. Okay, so I will try to take a better picture and post that. But I hope you enjoyed that. I know I've been talking, we're going on like an hour and 45 minutes here, but this was the With Love and Gratitude September paper pumpkin kit that made some really cute 3x3 cards and treat bags. But you can use those same supplies and make all kinds, tons of ideas. Yes, so I hope you enjoy that. And the sampler was like what I initially thought, because it's perfect that you just have to slice these cards in half. So when it comes to making samplers, usually the measurements are the thing that takes the longest. So the fact that the cards are already perfectly sized and you can just mount the squares onto your backing, that makes it perfect. All right, makes it so much easier. And other than these little blooming pearls, I didn't add anything else, just the sheet of basic white to the back of that. Okay, and then it's perfectly ready to add in some family photos, or photos of, I could add little photos of Ziggy on here. That could totally be a project. David's parents are totally happy to be grandparents to Ziggy, and so we could put little photos of Ziggy on here. That would be really cute too. So whatever your family consists of, the sampler would be a great way to showcase that. So I hope you've enjoyed these ideas today. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you for sticking through. And definitely, if you enjoyed that, make sure you're subscribed. Give me those hearts, thumbs up, like, all that fun stuff, and share the video as well. Thank you so, so much. And I look forward to stamping with you again soon. All right. Take care, everybody. Have a great afternoon, evening, wherever you are. And happy stamping. Alrighty. Bye-bye, everybody.